Good morning. This is the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, September 23rd. Looking at the impact map for today, looking at some gusty winds starting to pop up in the western portion of our geographic area. They will increase in size and speed tomorrow ahead of a powerful front that on the back side of it, in far northern areas in the central mountains of Idaho, there will be some showers, much cooler temperatures, a gradual rise in humidity, but a more significant rise in wind across central and eastern Idaho into western Wyoming. Also much of the higher terrain of Utah. Winds might be lighter in the southern part of this area in Utah, but there was quite a bit of recent lightning there in the last 48 hours, so a bit of a concern there. Similar concern there for Friday as things dry out. Still gusty winds up in Idaho with that front, but also some moisture and higher humidity, so a brief respite in our northern areas. Near surface smoke this morning, see biggest concentrations in the mountains of the central Sierra and bleeding into parts of northwestern Nevada. Lesser amounts, but still some across parts of central Nevada, western Utah. And you can see in the afternoon with the winds picking up and the burning activity picking up, the trajectory of some of that smoke on the right-hand side. Similar story on the 6,000 foot level, except a bit more trajectory on the upper level smoke early this morning, continuing and spreading eastwards later this afternoon. There was some precipitation in our eastern areas. We did have quite a bit of lightning, a couple hundred strikes, a mix of wet and dry, maybe 60% wet, 40% on the drier side, but enough of a volume of lightning were concerns today with drier air and possible new starts. Initial attack was fairly light, but we did have a couple of new starts that did go kind of big, so possibly moderate. Some of the bigger ones here in the Arizona Strip, new fires in the red, existing fires in the yellow, and the large fires existing in the open circles. Precipitation the past week, you can see still the effects of that front to the north, quarter to half-inch amounts where you see the dark blue and green, lesser amounts, not counting the last 24 hours further south. Percent of normal still drier than normal across many of the southern and western areas. Our ERCs kind of in a state of flux right now. You can see them, the driest areas across much of Utah and eastern to southern Nevada down into the Arizona Strip, unusually dry, and starting to dry out quite a bit in the Boise National Forest, parts of the Payette, and into the Salmon Chow's, drying out quite rapidly in some of those areas. Also, they didn't get as much rain in western Wyoming, so their ERC is also in the 70th to 80th percentiles and climbing upwards. Finer 10-hour fuels, the dark red shows the driest 3 to 4%. Areas in pink 5 to 6%, but those areas could dry out to the dark red in just a day of warm, dry weather. A little bit of the edge taken off in the far north. Satellite imagery shows a big deep low pressure area, winter type storm in the Gulf of Alaska coming down will push heavy rain into Washington and northern Oregon. This is a system that may brush our far northern areas with some rain, but the tight packing of these height lines indicates increasing winds. This high pressure arc pushing in from California and southern Nevada into southern Utah is bringing warmth and dryness to a lot of the areas of the south, including areas in Utah which had recent lightning, so to keep an eye on that. On the map here is on the left that high pressure ridge building in with that drier air. To the north there is the front. We have a tighter wind gradient starting to peak up into northwest Nevada. Not quite critical yet. We'll monitor it. Fire potential dryness on the right. You see a little bit of the edge taken off with some of the moisture across southern Utah, but that'll be quickly changing. Look, those dry humidities on the right-hand side in our southern area, single digits to near 10%, upper teens to near 20% in the north. On the left, you see those winds starting to pick up in northwest Nevada and to parts of southwest Idaho. That's going to be something to watch today. Some breezes picking up here in Utah where there was lightning. Not a lot, but maybe 10 to 20 miles per hour with dry humidity be worth watching. Now tomorrow, lots going on. There's the front. Lots of moisture pushing the Pacific Northwest. Unfortunately, the vast majority of this will stay just to our north. We'll get some increasing clouds, maybe a little bit of shower activity late tomorrow in the far, far north, but drier air pushing into the southern areas and also increasing the wind field. Here is our area of high risk. Parts of eastern Idaho, western Wyoming, and across the higher terrain of Utah, where winds might be a little bit below criteria for high risk, but there is recent lightning and much dryness going on, so that's our best chance actually of new starts. You can see the low humidities in the far south coming up quite a bit, about 15% in far southeast Idaho, and that 15 to 20% range in that eastern area is what will be a concern, because you see those winds up there in the purple gusting close to 40. In the higher terrain of Utah, lots of winds 25 to 35 miles per hour in the orange and dark green. Friday, a powerful winter-type surge of moisture into Oregon, but having a tough time getting into Idaho. They'll have some clouds and showers, definitely much cooler. Our concern with wind goes further southwards because up north the humidity will be climbing. You can see the humidity up north, even with wind. They'll be in the 20 to 30% range, but still below 20% in the south. You see those winds strong in Idaho, but higher humidity. It's once you get into Utah that the concern for the winds with dry fuels and lower humidity is the issue. Precipitation the next 3 days, again, lots in the Pacific Northwest, just barely tickling areas near McCall, maybe a couple hundredths of an inch to a tenth of an inch, but not much more than that at this point. The bulk of it, the dark blue, is just further northwards into Idaho, more towards the Coeur d'Alene area. Now, as we go into Saturday, we missed that moisture on Friday and Saturday. There's not much after that. We see drier air pushing in on the left here across California and Nevada. You see us drying out here fire potential wise. You can see where we've moistened up in our far north. But as we go into Sunday, high pressure on the left starts building on in. And then on Monday, look at that high, just monster high pressure building in on the right-hand side. Look at how many areas are in the brown. You see the greens up in our northern areas. Salmon Chalice and Payette have gone yellow. And then on Tuesday, unusually strong high pressure ridge, very warm, very dry temperatures, daytime highs 10 to 15 degrees above late September normals. Our fuels are going to dry out quite a bit. Good news, not much wind, but for existing fires, good burning periods both daytime and around the clock nighttime as well. After the next 2 days, no significant precipitation is expected, and the 8 to 14 day shows much above normal temperatures with that monster high continuing September 30th to October 6th, much drier than normal across the northern half of the geographic area, near normal in the south, and near normal for late September means not much precipitation in our southern area, so a dry, warm period as we go into the first week of October. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.